My name is Brandon Busty, and I'm the founder of Alcohol EDU, which is an online course designed to help young people make better decisions about alcohol, avoid alcohol abuse, things like binge drinking, drunk driving, and all the concerns associated with that. Oklahoma, as a state, has taken an incredible leadership position on a number of fronts with this. And one of those moves has been the ability to offer Alcohol EDU for high school to any high school in the state of Oklahoma free of charge this year. So there's a couple dozen high schools in the states that are already up and running, several who've already gotten students through the program. But I think the big message and opportunity is that any high school in the state can take advantage of this program free of charge. It literally is the first state in the entire country that is doing a wholesale adoption across the state for the Alcohol EDU for high school program. So it's incredibly exciting for us to be able to see the program go to scale, right, the way it was designed to do across an entire state, and especially a state that ranks fairly high in some of the underage drinking metrics. There is a very high degree of likelihood that this initiative, in conjunction with the other things the state is doing, is really going to move the needle on this issue, right? Reducing harm among teens, reducing harm on the highways. I mean, things that are important to all of us, not just those who have kids in this age bracket. The whole idea of thinking about something after you've read it, I mean, those are all really helpful steps. So that's, I think, what we're most excited about, to see this impact across the state. And what it requires is high schools signing on board. So for the principals out there, the superintendents, the teachers who are hearing this message, all it takes is contacting the state and getting some information on the program. There's no cost, and nothing to lose here. It's interesting. We've been doing this work now for 11 years and have gotten it to a place where it's a fairly widespread program. About a third of all the college students in the United States were required by their college or university to go through our college version of our program. And now hundreds of high schools across the country have been adopting it. But as you know, this has been an issue that's been around for a long time. Worries about underage drinking, abusive drinking, drunk driving, sexual assaults that are involved, linked with this issue. Different kind of learners today, right? There's digital media is everywhere, the internet. I mean, these tools, in some cases, are a little problematic, right? Parents worry about overexposure, but in another way of thinking about it, they're an incredible opportunity to take education to people who've never had it, to take it in specialized ways. And so, the other interesting tone that we've struck with the program is that we treat young adults, students, as capable of making their own decisions, right? So, even though they're at different stages developmentally, I think we kind of give them the benefit of the doubt as kind of the starting pole position, if you will, around the fact that they can and should be making these decisions on their own. The other tone that we strike is a non-opinionated and science-based tone. So we're very clear about what the law says and what the consequences are around those things, but the important factors that really get inside the heads of young adults are how alcohol, for example, affects their learning and memory, which for people under the ages of 25, it's a much more powerful and negative effect than people over the age of 25. So when you start to talk to them about brain science linked to drinking, that starts to get their attention in different ways, as opposed to just the, just say no message that has been hammered in a lot of ways, and quite frankly, a lot of young people are resistant to. So that transition from high school to college is a really critical risk time frame. We know from data and many studies that the likelihood that students are going to start drinking, if they haven't before, increases during that window. Those who are already drinking drink more, etc. And there's an interesting transitional risk too around the 8th to 9th grade transition. So our Alcohol EDU for high school program is, mainly designed for kind of the 9th, 10th grade year, reading level, etc. But around that transition time of going from what is traditionally a middle school environment in 8th grade to the high school environment in 9th grade, same thing. We see data that there is usually a significant uptick in drinking, those students who start drinking for the first time in 9th grade. So we've tried to target the educational program at the time frames where we know there's the greatest risk or likelihood that students are going to begin experimenting or abusing alcohol. This rite of passage thing is a big deal, and the only good news I can say about it is that we now have evidence from several studies, including a federal government study that was conducted on Alcohol EDU, that it has been proven effective in reducing things like binge drinking, drunk driving, alcohol-related sexual assaults, which is really a big deal. It's not a silver bullet, but these have been statistically significant reductions in some of the most important things we've been concerned about. So the program is making a difference. And the other great news around this is that there's actually a demographic trend now where it's actually the case that today we are at the lowest rate of drinking among high school students in our nation's history. We've only been measuring this for about 35 years, right? So that's the time frame. But in that 35-year period, we are at the lowest level of high school drinking that we've ever measured. So the good news is, that social pressure thing may be ebbing and flowing with a different kind of student demographic. If they go to Outside the Classroom, all one word, outsidetheclassroom.com/Oklahoma.aspx. That's the website where they'll find all the information on the program and can learn more about how to sign up for their high school.